upon a distance and the damage that's been done. The government, the gun that shoots to save us. And I don't need the pills and vaccinations. I got all the air to breathe. The sunshine on my face is just like medicine to me. Why do...
Alright, welcome back to Beagle Eye Visions. We will get back to that later. Let me see if this is working. Welcome back, welcome back. We have a very special book review here this month, in the month of November. It's gonna be, I'm very excited. I didn't do too many notes because the book came out this year. So I'm just gonna right off the bat, this book is very underrated. Everybody needs to read this book. It, like I said, it just came out. Like, when did it release? I don't know, but you can get this book for very cheap. Chris Jantzen's book, the book that changed my life. That's what it's called. It's an awesome, fun journey. It's a very thought-provoking book, just like the what was that book I did? Let me go grab it. Let me go grab it. Make sure I know what I'm talking about here. Oh, the I Am series. The I Am series. It's much like this book, but this book is the size of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. This one is it's less than 200 pages. So for comparison, it's a very fun read because there's a lot of self-reflection, but I need to stick to the notes. Welcome back, welcome back. It's been a crazy month. Hope everybody's doing good. I forgot my Bluetooth speaker at work, unfortunately, because I was tired and I really wanted to go home and hang out with Squirt Dog. So there's no background music. It's gonna be like one of the old school book reviews when I first started, but that's alright. So the book that changed my life. I absolutely love this book. You can get it for a deal, but I'll talk about that later. Let me get through the notes. Like I said, I don't have that many notes, so it's going to be kind of a shorter one. The Book That Changed My Life by Chris Jantzen. Before we get started, you can donate $5. Yeah, hard bargain, I know. The price of a freaking Starbucks coffee. So expensive. You can donate $5 to Chris Jantzen, the author, and you can get the PDF file. Read it on your phone, read it on your tablet, read it on your toilet, read it on your TV. If your TV is smart enough to be able to handle a PDF document, maybe not. I actually never tried that. I've never tried to read a book on a TV. That's probably not a good thing. Probably wouldn't be good for your eyes. The foreword is absolutely flawless. The foreword of this book is done by Will Keller, another amazing man who is an absolute legend. Shout out to Will Keller. So I get some more caffeine. I'm already losing my spot. Another amazing man who is an absolute legend, just like the author. For those of us sovereign individuals, we know the name of these fine gentlemen, these modern Renaissance men. If this is your first time hearing these names, you are in for a treat today. And I know, there's been a trend on the internet where people only seem to want to talk about racist, pedo scumbags who are in office, which is understandable. There's a lot of suffering going on right now, which, if everybody read this book, they would understand the amount of suffering. They're like ICE. The people who are working for ICE right now are literally like high school dropouts who are in debt to their wives, and they hate their marriage. They're blubbering fat retard. I mean, I shouldn't use that R word. They're blubbering fat, just butterballs, wielding weapons and dragging people out of their homes in Chicago. And now they're moving into Memphis. Now I saw while I was at work last night. Because my phone was getting updates about how they're moving in Memphis now. Like, why aren't they, Portland, I think, even though there's no crime in Portland, it's a bunch of hipsters who drink coffee all day. Like they just hang out in coffee shops and use the French presses. Like, well, there's no violence. They need to be going to like St. Louis, or I mean, they shouldn't be going anywhere. If they weren't order following cowards, they would have a real job. But anyways. For those of us sovereign individuals, by the time I got to page 13, I noticed this is definitely not like other self-help books. Even the text in the book is in a different format. You'll notice on every page, the text is centered, drawing your attention to every word as if reading this book is going to help you discover an alchemical element you've never noticed or paid attention to. The secret of turning base consciousness into gold. Squirt dog is freaking walking around. I really wish I had some background music. Looking inward and doing deep self-reflection, known as shadow work, working on the dark aspect of the self, right? That's why they call it the shadow work. When you look at your shadow, it's a darker version of yourself, right? You got to use your imagination. You're a magi. Turn your eye on. That's what action is, right? Acting with your eye on. Or acting with ions, right? Ion is, that's a scientific term, kind of energy. Squirt! Go lay down. Let me get my tapping stick. I don't even know what this is. What is this, a selfie stick? Oh, it's for blind people or something. He's being a hooligan, and I'm distracted. I'm super tired from work. That's why I didn't get to sleep in as much as I wanted to today, which kind of sucks, but it's alright. Anyways, back to the notes. Looking inward, doing self-reflection, shadow work, working on the dark aspect of the self, chiseling away at the overblown ego and carving it into a beautiful piece of art that the world cannot ignore or turn away from. Instead of letting ego run amok, grab it by the throat and use it as a tool in your arsenal. The mastercraft, the 33rd degree. Here's an awesome quote. If you ignore the wonders of your own house, how do you expect to find worldly wonders? In you is hidden the treasure of treasures. Know thyself, and you will know the universe and the gods. And they talk about that, the oracle, right? The oracle talks about that in the Matrix. The sign above, in her kitchen, above the doorway, above the arches, is tenet nusque, which means know thyself. And that goes right along with the theme of this book, the theme of awesome allegorical films like The Matrix, and yeah, it's awesome. People are sleeping on this amazing knowledge, and it really kind of frustrates me. From there, the author takes us into how we are all controlled, the Tesseract, and all of the wicked faces of it. Fascinating stuff. Wake the Dead podcast. I gotta give it. Wake the Dead podcast has been amazing. Wake the Dead podcast has just a career, a plethora of amazing interviews, amazing film breakdowns, and Wake the Dead podcast just did an interview with Chris Jantzen, the author of this book, and it's an amazing interview. I'll put it in the description of this video. Find it in the link down below, and leave a comment too while you're. I mean, if you really want to, you don't have to. I'm not forcing you to do anything. I'm an anarchist. Yeah, allegorical film breakdowns. Wake the Dead is amazing. A very underrated podcast, much like the author Chris's own podcast, the End Evil podcast right here. And I'll talk more about that later, but End Evil podcast. Go subscribe to it, because the amount of subscribers that all of these YouTube channels, all these content creators on the One Great Work Network, the amount of subscribers that they don't have is absolutely deplorable. And then the amount of subscribers of dudes just like dudes talking about women and what women think nowadays. It's like they don't spend any time on their videos. It's just like a reaction video of some stoner dude reacting to women sitting in their vehicles and recording videos, like millions of views. I don't understand. So in the so-called freedom community, we have a saying: there is nothing new under the sun. But I argue the way that Chris Jantzen breaks down the Tesseract in this book, it was definitely new to me. I never heard anyone break down the Tesseract like he did in this book, bravo. It's phenomenal. It's a phenomenal chapter. I had such a blast reading it. It was like, again, it was thought-provoking. It made me think, right? Books make you think. Unlike, most of the crap that Netflix is producing, or, any of the streaming services. I watched the new King of the Hill season, and like, it's alright, but it's nothing to write home about. It's the same stuff. Exactly, it goes right along with that book. There's nothing new under the sun. Every single movie that they've been putting out are just remakes and remakes. The older I get, the farther back I'm going to watch movies. Like, when I get paid, I'm going to probably purchase the movie Superfly from the 70s, the blaxploitation film, and I'm going to watch that because the special effects are real. There's no CGI, or if there is CGI, it's very little, and they use it on like the background to make the cities look better. Like in the Fallout TV show, for example, the CGI is it's horrible. When they go up to a nuclear bomb site where a bomb was dropped, and you can tell like the city background is just CGI filler, computer graphics, and it's like, it makes me not even just want to watch. That's why I play video games, because you're participating. And video games, they look good. They don't look like movies nowadays. Just look like crap. They do not age well either. Anyways, I keep getting distracted. Before going further, I had a phone call with a classmate, and she reminded me of a profound observation of looking into people's names and the green or emerald language, green language. I talk about this on the channel so much. In the green emerald language, you can learn from people's names. So shout out to Kelly, classmate of How to Become the True Media Seminar. I think we were in 2024. My plaque's in there. I still got to clean out the garage. I thought I had help. He was in some of the videos, and he was playing some video games with me. I had to kick him out. He wasn't like helping me clean the garage out. He wasn't helping me doing much. He wasn't helping me with the channel. So he's gone, and I'm back by myself with running a YouTube channel. But anyways, back to the book. The name Chris refers to Christ bearing or to carry. It is also a gender neutral name. The word Christos also means anointed, or the anointed one. So Chris is the anointed one, giving us this profound, very deep, esoteric knowledge. And esoteric meaning hidden. I know most people don't understand definitions of words, or they don't even look them up. They have their smartphones, but they only use them for Snapchat, right? I'm so sick. I'm so sick of Snapchat. Gosh. So going to the Chris's last name is Jantzen, Jantzen. The root word Jan means God is gracious. I thought that was really interesting. Jan is also associated with qualities such as divine favor and mercy. And then you get to Zen. You're breaking down the full name. Zen is pretty obvious, peaceful, calm, and Chris Jantzen is a very chill dude. Like I love getting off work and just listening to his interviews, especially the Wake to Dead podcast one. I listened to that 2.5 times because the content that they talk about is just so good. It's so freaking good, and it's important to talk about current events, but it's also, you need to be grounded, right? You have to have a solid foundation, and while being aware of the current events and the suffering that's taking place in the world today, if just more people would study morality, there wouldn't be children getting ripped out of their homes in the middle of the night, in the dead of night. People wouldn't take that job. It's just I'm trying to stay on track, but the suffering just drives me absolutely. It's been there's a lot of chaos going on, especially in Chicago. It's still going on. They're just pulling people out of their cars, pulling people, arresting them, and zip tying their hands together. They were zip tying children's, bounding their hands together. And people call that freedom, right? Like, how could you wield a gun and zip tie children, the future generation, right? You shouldn't be zip tying these children. You should be giving them books, and teaching them and helping them out and giving them shelter, and not locking them up And a lot of these people have been here for 30 years. A lot of these people are U.S. citizens, and they voted. They voted for this guy, and now this guy is this racist douche is pulling them out of their homes when they've lived in these communities for years and years, multiple generations of these communities. They work here. They're workers. They're not. A lot of these people that they're arresting aren't even criminals, right? They're just people who are just every day. They go to work. They come home. They take care of their kids, and they're just getting arrested, pulled out of their home. I'm sorry, it's crazy. It needs to be talked about. There's not enough people talking about it. Zen originates from the back to the book. Zen originates from the Sanskrit word dhyana, D-H-Y-A-N-A, which means thought or meditation. And I love that. Again, it's so good. Like, it's right in his name. And my classmate, when we had the phone call, she was saying, like, if you look at people's names, people's names like correlate with their actions. Like, right, you take Donald Trump, for example. He's the Don, like the mob boss, and he's Trump. With the Trump Tower, he's got the tallest, I don't know if it's the tallest building in Chicago, but if you go to a big city, the tallest buildings are always insurance companies and bank companies. And then, you have Trump Tower right next to it, standing, towering over the workers that help build buildings like that. Is so frustrating. So, quite obviously, Chris Jantzen is a total legend. Bringing back to positivity. Chris Jantzen is an absolute legend, a moral man with a natural law plan. A moral man with a natural law plan. Sorry, I've been listening to the soundtrack of Superfly, so I got that, like, the jive rhyme. Like Derek Bartoluccelli, he's always rhyming on time. Freaking shout out to Derek Bartoluccelli. Derek, where's your book at, bro? Where are you gonna write a book? No, he's always working. Derek Bartoluccelli, he's always doing content and doing interviews. He's been doing fantastic work on top of working, right? These people, like Chris Jantzen too, he's a carpenter. These guys are working and then creating podcasts on top of working, 8-10 hour days. He's building houses and working on windows and fixing people's houses and fixing their homes. And then getting off work, he's not like getting off work and drinking half gallons of vodka, or he's not, shooting up heroin and nodding out. Like he's getting off work, he's taking care of his children, he's running a podcast, he's doing content, he's writing books, he's publishing books. He's the Renaissance man. How, like, by definition, Renaissance man. These guys are amazing and people aren't paying attention to him. It drives me nuts. So, here's a quote from the book. Let's talk about school, that sacred factory of obedience. You're torn from your parents before your soul can even root, lined up in fluorescent lit cubicles with strangers from your zip code, and taught one lesson above all. Follow orders, stay in line, raise your hand, and ask permission to exist, right? It reminds me of the DRI song. Run! Don't be tardy! Fell asleep last night. Well, that line of the song's kind of lame, but be on time. Step on other people. Get that promotion. Me and Matt talk about that on Crazy Life Stories podcast all the time. So then I'd like to add for us fellas, that quote, back to that quote, it says, ask permission to exist. You're ripped from your parents before your soul can even root. Before your soul can even root. And it's so true. They rip you right out of there. And for us fellas, I'd like to add, it starts as soon as we leave the womb with circumcision. And circumcision is still going on to this day. I have people, like my people in my immediate family, are having newborn children and getting them circumcised. It's the mark of a slave. It's completely immoral. It's completely unnecessary. And the fact that this religious action is still happening in modern, you can't even call it modern hospitals, because this is a barbaric action that they're taking on children and like cutting babies' skins right out of the womb, and they're ripping away from their mothers, because if the mothers heard what is happening to these babies, these newborn children, if the mothers heard, the mothers would probably take action just out of instinct, without hesitation. That's why when they do the circumcision, they separate the mom, and like the dad and the doctor, the dad's got to like hold him down. It's like a group it's a ceremony. It's a religious ceremony, and it needs to stop. It's a completely immoral action. You are traumatizing babies. It's BS that this stuff is still happening today. And again, people don't care about morality. They don't care. One father will do it to his kid because it's like, well, I don't know how to clean it. I'm uneducated and I don't read books because I'm an idiot, and all I do is spend time watching football and freaking debates of politicians. It's like these people are so unwell read. It's despicable, and there's no excuse. We live in a time where a smartphone, you have encyclopedias on your phone. You can download PDFs. You have so much information. Like, this is just insane, literally insane. The author continues to reflect, bringing light to my shadow self. Like I said, every page makes you reflect. It makes you think, and I love books like that. Books like that, they're so good. I need to stick to the notes. He continues, what they don't tell you is that the more you welcome these systems in your life, the more you become a product on the shelf. It's so freaking true. People are just drones, right? I just had to write that down because it reminds me of a very underrated ska band called Citizen Fish, and they have a song called Shelf Life, where the chorus is, now I'm just a product on the shelf. It saves me from having to try to be myself. A very profound lyric. Freaking love that lyric. Love that album. That whole the song that Shelf Life is on, that album is flawless from top to bottom. It's a flawless album. The entire album is aged like a fine wine. And who doesn't love ska, right? Ska's amazing. Ska's fun. It's always fun, good energy, skinhead reggae, right? And when I say skinhead, if you think about racism, again, you're unwell read. You need to read more books. This is why I do these book reviews. You need to read more books. Skins existed way before Nazis, just saying. Now I'm just a product on my shelf. From there, the author teaches us the trivia method. Such a powerful, oh my gosh, the trivia. I freaking love the trivia method. It's amazing. And again, I was talking to my coworker. I'm like, have you ever heard of the trivia method? Nope. Wow. Like, why have you not heard of the trivia method? It doesn't make any sense to me. So the author teaches us the trivia method. Grammar, logic, rhetoric. I argue that it should be day one stuff, especially in public education, should be common knowledge. But as Chris points out, public education doesn't start there because they don't want us to have a solid foundation. They want us to be in the dark. There's a very good book that is called, what do you know? The book is called The Trivium, and it is on the list of book reviews, as I already have a copy of it. But again, that one's like the I Am series. The Trivium is very, very thick. It's a thick book, but maybe I'll break it down. Maybe I'll do the first third of the book, grammar, and then the logic, rhetoric. Maybe I'll break it down and do a book review in that fashion. I think that would make it a lot more digestible, because people's attention spans are destroyed, and people's attention spans are absolutely devastated. But anyways, very good book called The Trivium. It's on the list of book reviews. I already have a copy of it. And the next page is the author breaks down the tools we need for discernment and logic. I'm not going to break down all of the tools, but one worth mentioning is also discussed in a previous book review I've already covered, titled Zen. Right, Chris Jantzen. It's, again, so synchronistic. Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, where the author of that book talks about the analytical knife in great detail. I thought it was very synchronistic. And again, Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, it's one of those profound books. It makes you think. It makes you question things. And it's awesome. It makes you use your brain. It makes you use your noodle, right? Now you're thinking with your dipstick. Another crucial topic in this book is on the right of self-defense. Still, in 2025, people do not understand the necessity of this idea, the necessity of the idea of self-defense. And again, because if I had a car, I would probably be in Chicago and I'd probably be arrested right now if I had a vehicle. I mean, I could take the South Shore. I was literally debating on taking the South Shore train to Chicago and like in bearing arms, right? Using my right of self-defense, because people are just recording it's like the things that are happening it requires more than a freaking cell phone, right? I understand you're recording it for prosperity so people can see what's happening, and I'm watching, like I'm getting the updates on my phone and watching what's happening in Chicago, which is cool, right? You need to have that, but you need to use more than a phone. I mean, if you're seeing a mom, if you're seeing like a 40, 50-year-old mom / grandma getting pulled out of her car while she's driving to school to go pick up her children, a phone, you need to do a lot more action than just recording it with the phone. Like, it's so freaking frustrating. But anyways, people still look at this, at self-defense, as violence. Public education and the state do nothing to help this, because when real violence is initiated, like what's going on right now, both parties are punished. Well, I guess it doesn't always happen like that. Both parties are usually punished. I mean, this is more in public education. Both parties are punished, and instead of the aggressor that actually caused the true violence, right, which violence is a violation of your natural law rights. When somebody puts violence upon you, you have the right to defend yourself and use enough action to deter the aggressor away from you. Like, I was in this very house that I'm recording this book review on. A few years ago on Thanksgiving, I got punched in the face. I got punched in the face. The guy walked out of the house, got away with it. It was my own brother. And I had the right to use self-defense, but I didn't, because, I mean, he's a weak man. I mean, on Thanksgiving, you're going to punch your little brother. This is my older brother. You're going to punch your little brother in your own house on Thanksgiving and then walk away to go do drugs. Like, congratulations. You must be a real man. How does it make you feel, right? But anyways, family drama aside, so yeah, you have, when violence occurs, you have the right to self-defense. You can defend yourself to whatever degree to help deter the aggressor, right? To stop the harm. Because when one person initiates violence and one person, like let's say somebody tries to rob another person, right? Points a gun into their car and tries to steal their vehicle. Like, let's say they're going to work or they're going to the grocery store. It doesn't matter where they're going. If the aggressor points a gun at somebody who tries to steal a car and the person in the car pulls a gun and shoots that person, that is self-defense. How many actions of violence was taken? Just one. One action of violence. The aggressor took it. He was the aggressor. The person who defended themselves was using the necessary action to protect themselves and their property, and it stops right there. Nip it at the bud, right? People say like, oh, it's violent. Oh, you don't have the right to deter. Like, it's so, people just get so stupid with that stuff. It's just a response of protection. And the author puts it way better than how I'm trying to describe it. Like I said, I'm tired. I need more sleep. Definitely need more sleep for sure. I'm going to sleep in tomorrow. Absolutely. Self-defense isn't vengeance. It's reverence. It's truth in motion. And if we taught that to every kid, instead of pacifying them with fear and confrontation, this world would become unrecognizable. And it's so true. Direct quote from page 50. The author also discusses logical fallacies that most people hold up on a pedestal, like the ignorant idiom, there is no such thing as truth, right? And I've talked about this where I was at a cookout. I've talked about it on Crazy Life Stories. But people still believe this. People really believe that the truth does not exist. And the person at this cookout, the owner of the campground, he looked the person in the eye who said, oh, she was kind of drinking alcohol, right? Drinking Hennessy. It was at a cookout. We were having fun. Getting self-indulgent, right? And she was like, the truth doesn't exist. There's no way. And the owner of the campground, he looks her in the eye and asks the person who said that, was like, well, is that true? And her only response was to laugh. because like I'm glad she was smart enough to realize it's a logical fallacy, and people really believe the truth doesn't exist. How can you find the truth? Like, I've had so many conversations with coworkers, with family members, where they say these dumb logical fallacies, and I'm like, where do you get these logical fallacies from? You have to work to be that ignorant, right? Like, man, pull your head out of the sand. There's no such thing as truth. Is that true? Because then, if that is true, then the truth exists, right? It's back, like Brandon Martin on the Comfy Hole podcast says, it's backwards, it's upside down, it doesn't hold any weight, it's just dumb. It's just dumb, son. Logical fallacies aside, a more important topic this book is all about is shadow work. Again, I know I talked about it at the beginning of this book review, but shadow work is so important, and people are not doing it. This is some of the most important work anyone can do in their entire lives, right? And I know I've said this before, people in the freedom community, but the three most powerful words anybody can ever say to themselves is, I was wrong. And I'm going to read this powerful excerpt because, like I said, he's a fantastic writer. He knows how to articulate his words, and this is why I get tied up in explaining things, because I myself am a writer. I'm a musician, I write songs. I used to write a lot of poetry, and I like at punk rock shows, I would read the poetry out loud. It was awesome, like in the punk houses back in the day. I miss those days, man. Writing freaking anarchist poems and poetry. I should get back into it and maybe produce like a book of poems. I think that would be awesome. But I'm definitely gonna write a book myself, right? Because if Chris Jantzen can write, produce, and publish a book, then why can't I, right? Why can't you do it? Do you have any ideas? Write a book. I hear that, you hear it from so many people. I could write a book about my life, but do they ever do it? Nope. That one book I want to read is by Larry Lawton. He's not an anarchist, he's a statist, but I think some of the messages that Uncle Larry Lawton has to say in his book is probably profound. There's probably some nuggets of wisdom in his book for sure, just like the book that changed my life. So many nuggets of wisdom within these 200 pages, less than 200 pages. It's phenomenal book, and there's no reason you should have this book in your phone, in your arsenal, in your tool belt. Okay, so sorry. I'm super caffeinated. I'm tired but fast because I drank a lot of caffeine for this book review. Every experience in life is some type of relationship. Your mental and spiritual armor is only as strong as the people you let close. If someone constantly drains you, disrespects you, or throws their emotional garbage at your feet, that's not love. That is sabotage. This doesn't mean you ghost everyone who rubs you wrong, and I need to take this to heart before I finish this quote. I really need to take this to heart because I ghost people left and right. That's sabotage. That doesn't mean you ghost everyone who rubs you wrong. It means you start using discernment like a blade. Who's lifting you? Who's bleeding you? Who's reflecting back your own unhealed wounds? And yeah, check yourself too. Are you showing up real? Or are you shape-shifting to avoid conflict, begging for scraps of approval? Mental self-defense means no more pretending, to be okay with what breaks you. You want real peace? Then start demanding real honesty. First from yourself. That's the most important part. I'm going to say that again. Then start demanding real honesty first from yourself, then from everyone else. Freaking amazing. Chris Jantzen, I freaking love you, brother. Thank you so much for this book. And I hope people respond. I hope people purchase it. I hope people support it. People need to support these guys, these modern Renaissance men. So Chris Jantzen is a content creator on the One Great Work Network. Freaking love the One Great Work Network. Shout out to those guys. The One Great Work Network is a privately organized collective of, I wrote that, collectis? I definitely must have been tired when I was doing these notes. Collective of conscious individuals who create dynamic content for the purpose of teaching natural law, truth, and freedom to the worldwide audience. I'm gonna stand up for this one. I'm getting fired up here. Getting fired up. Get this chair out. Get this freaking chair out of here. One Great Work Network is the greatest website of all time. Period. No. The One Great Work Network is actively engaged in the ongoing war against the dark occult ruling class. Together, this group of freedom activists, advocates, and spiritual warriors continuously disseminates empowering information in a tireless effort to free humanity from the condition of slavery. A free website for every man, woman, and child without annoying ads. Oh my god, I'm so freaking sick of commercials. So sick of commercials. Without annoying ads. Oh, I lost my spot. A free website for every man, woman, and child without annoying ads or subscription fees for premium content. Premium. It's not even premium, dude. You're talking about the same thing that everybody's talked about through millennia. There's nothing new under the sun. You're charging people money. It's $4 a month. Join my premium subscription, guys. Freaking, if you want to support cold ones. No paywalls. No season passes. Just intelligent people banding together for truth, love, and freedom. Libertas amor veritas. Stay tuned, stay gold. I'm going to close out on this beautiful song from Brendan Daniels. Shout out to Brendan Daniels. Alright, I'll leave you guys with this. I don't have a Bluetooth speaker, but I do have a... support SoundPath to Freedom. Support Chris Jantzen. Support the One Great Work Network. You already know how to support this channel. I'm out of here. Pull your head out of the sand. Think for yourself.
I don't think that this ever existed. Put the cart before the horse. The 6 foot pond of distance and the damage that's been done. The government, the gun that shoots to save us. And I don't need the pills and vaccinations. I got all the air to breathe. The sunshine on my face is just like medicine to me. Why do we compete with Mother Nature? Well, war is hell, a weapon of taxation. It's been poison in the well. I wonder how they made it so that we could hardly tell the difference between slavery and salvation.
Wait, I forgot to mention,
All through the turning,
before we get out of here, I forget to mention,
all through the turning of time. Let's call it what it is. It's
so if you really want to support Chris Jantzen, you can get yourself a copy of this book. Like I said, you can get the $5 PDF, but if you're like me, if you really like physical media is important. You can pay $45, at the time of this recording it is October 12th, so I'm sure the deal will still be active. $45 gets you this book, and he'll ship it to you, he'll sign it, like he signed it, it says, Henry, thanks, much love, appreciate you, Chris. You can get both of these books for $45, and then he gives you all these stickers. These stickers they're pretty big. Here, like for size comparison, they're pretty big stickers. They seem like they're very high quality. And he gives you the hookup. Gives you the care package. Now that's Squirt Dog barking at nothing probably. So thanks for tuning in to Beagle Eye Visions. I appreciate you. Government is slavery. And people need to realize it. Alright, signing off.